Hello, welcome to Caterkwik, and this morning we're with Cameron Murphy from S&S Northern, one of our interlock suppliers. First of all, Cameron, thank you for coming in today.
No problem.
I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to kind of lay down the interlocking laws and gas compliance and things like that, and try and explain in a practical way how our customers can achieve compliance.
Yeah.
And ask Cameron, who is the industry that they're kind of leading, some of the things that need to be considered when setting up and complying with gas interlocking. So first of all, Cameron, what is gas interlocking?
So gas interlocking is where we're looking to interlock the ventilation with the gas supply. So for instance, if the ventilation fails for whatever reason, we're going to isolate the gas. As a company, we've been dealing with gas safety controls and interlock systems for 25 years. We're the leading manufacturer across kitchens, pub rooms and laboratories. And throughout all three areas, there is different set regulations.
It is getting quite strict at the moment, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of over the last sort of 10 years, it's now become quite like gas safe. It's become a serious compliance issue.
Oh yeah, definitely now. And there's a few different regulations across the board. Take kitchens, for instance. You've got your main regulation, which is BS 6173, so your British standard, which states that a means of interlocking with the ventilation must be incorporated.
We can give you a link to the bottom of the screen onto that.
Yeah,
that compliance
most
account. It's a weighty document, but hopefully
it is. Yeah, we'll try and keep it as vague as possible as well. As you can see, there's various different systems and controls that we include for, and that's dependent on the ancillaries that we use. So a standard interlock system looks like such, which uses external pressure switches, which is a form of interlocking. Or you have your second form of interlocking, which is done by current sensors, shown in the 1250.
Okay, so air pressure switch system and we got current sensing.
Correct.
We tend to the air pressure system. We think that's not as reliable as the current sensing, and we see that. I sort of prefer that if it's an existing system and it's very complicated, speed controllers, three-phase fans, etc. We can almost fit that independently to the extraction panel.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's a new build, you'd go for which one?
The current monitoring. So we've got two options when it comes to current monitoring. We've got the 1250, 1650 plus. Basically, the difference between the two is just advanced means of current monitoring. With our systems, as you can see, the white boxes with emergency stops on the front, but each system has different interfaces and outputs as well. So including for CO2 monitoring, remote emergency stops, external means of like current monitoring as well when dealing with that the third and fourth fans.
So we're looking really at, we're talking quite technical panels here, but I just wanted to explain really the key bits, the basic key bits you're going to need is a good canopy, a good rate of extraction, replacement air of some sort we're going to need in a commercial kitchen, and then you would consider putting one of these panels in. And you need a gas solenoid valve to go along with that, which is this bit here.
Exactly that, yeah.
So this is just the kind of the switch, basically, the electrical switch. You'll know if you've got one because if you don't put your canopy on, you can't cook.
Exactly that, yeah. So as a standard install, you will just see, if you were to be purchasing one of these, you'd have the likes of the 1250 standard interlock system with a solenoid valve, and that is it. So we give mains to the panel, and that's going to control the gas supply depending on if the ventilation's running. As simple as that.
Okay.
So from a minimum point of regulation, what you need to include for is a panel with a solenoid valve. That's going to interlock with the vent and isolate.
And that, with the right amount of overhangs for the canopy, with the right amount of air changes, is going to get you compliant. Yeah?
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. But you do a lot more things than that. Because I think CO2 is an issue as well. I mean, we monitor CO2 on your annual gas inspection, and we'll take the readings for that.
Yeah.
But some kitchens fall foul of this, and it's quite serious. And
it is, yeah.
And you offer some solutions.
You do, yeah. So as you can see here, far off to the side, you've got one of our CO2 monitors. That's going to show you that visual display. CO2 monitoring comes into play. Well, it's becoming increasingly popular across the board, whether it's in non-gas supplied areas or gas supplied areas. Within commercial kitchens, and why we should include for that, is under your IGP19 document. Again, we provide more guidance with that.
Is it 2,500 parts per million? Is that the threshold, or is it a bit higher than that?
It's a little bit higher, yes. So your regulation states we need to isolate the gas supply at 5,000 parts per million. We allow for a little bit of a buffer at 4,500. But with that in mind, we do allow for a pre-alarm at 2,800. So it's again, if you've got the kitchen canopy and the airflow rates correct, you wouldn't be seeing anything anywhere close to 2,500, 2,800.
Yeah, that's the kind of upper limit that we as gas engineers would work to.
Yeah. So in accordance with that as well, say for instance, if the CO2 levels do rise and they get around 5,000 parts per million, again, we're going to isolate the gas supply. But we also include the CO2 monitoring when working with variable speed control systems. So where we can adjust the ventilation, obviously dependent on the air quality within the room itself, we'd allow for CO2 monitoring. Main reason for this is we actually want to do air quality checks.
Okay, good. If you need any technical information, don't hesitate to give the team upstairs a ring.
Yeah.
And that just leaves me to thank Cameron for his time today, and hopefully you've liked this video. Hopefully it's explained a little bit of gas interlocking, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you.